What's going on, YouTube? Ryan and Alex back from Dopamon once again. Today, we need to talk about Tampa Bay Lightning and the Toronto Maple Leafs series. We're going to be previewing each and every one of the first round series over the next little bit, so stay tuned for that. We just have this little splash page here of information about each series. So let me know what you think about that. The second place in the Atlantic Division, so the team that has home ice advantage is Toronto, will be taking on the Tampa Bay Lightning in the first round. The Leafs, second in goals for, 20th in goals against, have the top ranked power play, the 8th ranked PK, and are the best faceoff team in the league. Obviously, the thing that stands out there, Alex, is the goals against.
20th.
20th.
That is rough. And I think what best even exemplifies that is the most recent head-to-head between these two. The most recent match on April 21st, 8 goals against. I know, in those routes, he kind of let off on the gas pedal and, more were scored against than should have been. But I think that kind of shows how goals against can really pile up against the Toronto Maple Leafs. And Tampa Bay has some scorers that can rack up some goals, don't they?
Yep, absolutely. Tampa Bay a little bit more well-rounded, 7th in goals for, 6th in goals against, right down the middle there, kind of in amongst the playoff teams. The 8th best power play, the 11th best penalty kill, and actually not anymore, 15th. Almost at halfway through the league, but there's 32 teams now. 15th in face-off win percentage. We can talk about that last game. Tampa Bay beat Toronto 8-1. Absolutely slaughtered them. It was 0-0 after the first period in that game. I remember watching that game and just beside myself for the next two periods. The Leafs stopped playing and instead tried to beat the shit out of the Tampa Bay Lightning, and that didn't go well either. Yeah, it was an interesting one. Toronto won their first meeting on November 11th, 2-1 in overtime. Tampa Bay came back on December 9th, 5-2. And then the best game that Toronto has played against Tampa this season, 6-2 on April the 4th. It was a few weeks before that 8-1 drudging in Tampa. Went into Tampa and won 6-2. And it was actually a very, very one-sided game. Toronto outplayed them. And that one game gives me a little bit of hope that they can do that again. Their top scorers I have on each side here, fairly even. Matthews, obviously the big scorer, the 60-goal year, the first time that's happened since. The other guy on the top there, Steven Stamkos, going head-to-head, 106 points, 42 goals.
106 points for both of them. That is really high.
I think the difference is going to be, obviously, goaltending is going to be a huge, huge issue. And goals against, just their general defense, the ability to defend. And Victor Hedman has an 85-point season as a defenseman. Morgan Riley leads the Leafs defense core in points with 68 in 82 games, 10 goals. The Leafs D-core is nothing like the Lightning's D-core. The Lightning's D-core is probably the best in the league. They can roll out, Hedman, Ruta, McDonough, Sergachev, Chernak, and Bogosian. And they're big, they're strong, and they're going to cross-check the shit out of all the Leafs players because it's allowed in the playoffs. And then it comes to goaltending. Obviously, Andrei Vasilevsky is one of, if not the best goalie in the NHL over the last 3 or 4 seasons. Has 38 wins this year, 917 save percentage. And Jack Campbell, no slouch, but had a better first half than he did second half, obviously. What do you think? What's going to happen in this series, Alex?
Now, the goals against, the lack of defense, the question mark in goaltending, the ability for Tampa Bay to score goals. It's kind of like you said, that April 4th game, 6-2 Toronto, that does give me hope that, not, as myself, I'm not particularly a Leafs fan, but like for them, that they could win the series. I'd love for the Leafs to finally, get over the hump. But when it all breaks down, you get 8-1 against. When it breaks down for Tampa, 6-2, like that's it. And I think after 7 games, that can really wear on a goaltender like Jack Campbell. I really like him, but the second half he hasn't been as good as I think he was in the first half, and that kind of alarms me that, what kind of goaltending are you gonna have facing one of the best, one of the better offensive teams in the league?
Yeah, Jack Campbell had like a 950 in the month of November, and
Hmm.
aside from the last few weeks, hasn't really been great. He's been good at times, but really bad in others. There's no goalie depth really on either side. I like Brian
Hmm.
Elliott as a backup, but you're not going to take
He's
Brian
too old
Elliott
now,
to
and
you're not going to take Brian Elliott to the final. And I think we'll talk about that for the rest of the series. If you take out the starting goalie on any team, they've instantly become the underdog. So we'll see. Obviously, we can't say, oh, what if injury? Yada, yada. Anyone could get hurt at any point. We saw that last year. And yeah, it's going to be interesting. It really is. I think both teams, outside of my own Leaf bias, I do think that either team could win this series. Uh, the Leafs have players that they didn't have last year that have improved. They have newer players. They have a better defense, and their superstars are being their superstars. And that's the key. I don't think you're going to win or lose this series on, the third line or the fourth line or the third pairing defenseman. You're going to win or lose this series because Austin Matthews and Mitch Marner outproduced Steven Stamkos and Nikita Kucherov. That's what's going to happen. And they have to be on top of their game, or else this is going to be a 5-game series.
and both those pairs of forwards have been really hot coming to the end of the season. So we're gonna see. I have a good feeling that this is gonna be my favorite series to watch. Gonna be, a lot of offense, gonna be nice, hard hockey, and but I wouldn't call it as 50-50 as you. I would have to lean a little bit towards Tampa. Statistically, I think that it's kind of clear, the defense, and even without an injury to Jack Campbell, I don't know if, 7 games against Tampa, like that is a lot. Can he just sustain being a starter for that long? And I really do like him. I think he's a great person, but I think that Andre Vasilevsky, I don't have to question, can he handle a 7-game series? Because I absolutely.
He's done it before a million times.
Yeah. Yeah.
And Vasilevsky, I think, was a stat that he has shutouts in 3 straight elimination games or something like that, dating
Yeah.
back into last year's playoffs. So he turns it on when he needs to. And man, are the Leafs in tough. The second place team, the third place team in the NHL, standings wise, gets to, for all that effort and all that success in the year, here's your prize. You get to go up against the 2-time back-to-back Stanley Cup champion Tampa Bay Lightning, who are still in their prime and have no sense of slowing down. The only thing that I can maybe hang my hat on is maybe they're tired. Maybe 2 straight full playoff rounds, one with a bubble. So one more round than it would be normally in a short amount of time, and then an 82-game season. Maybe by game 5 or 6, they start to slow down. But I don't know. I honestly don't know. The team is incredible. They lost their entire third line. So this team is not the same team as it was last year. The top guys are there, but their depth, it's not the same team. They're really not. So I don't know. I have my hopes, obviously, as a Leafs fan. What do you say for this series ultimately? What is your winner and in amount of games?
Now I like to go. You don't like it when I do it, but I like to think in my head like game by game almost. I like to think the first 4 are gonna go very much like the head to head that happened during the season.
Mm-hmm.
2 for Tampa, 2 for Toronto, and either 6 or 7 for Tampa. That's 6 or 7 for Tampa is gonna be my prediction. I want to say 7 because I like hockey and I think it's gonna be a good series, but my gut says 6.
Yeah, this on paper is the most exciting series. I don't think it's close. I think you could any one of the Eastern Conference matchups is going to be insane. I will wear my Leafs bias front and center here. Leafs in 7 because I think that's funny. Otherwise, I think it could be over in 6 or 7. I do think whoever loses this series is going to win a couple games. I think the Leafs are going to win game 1. If you want to go game by game, they're going to lose game 2 and 3, and then they're going to win 3 straight. And they're going to win they're going to lose the next, and yeah, anyway. 7 games for the Leafs. Yeah. I don't know. We'll see. Hopefully I'm right. I'm probably wrong. My brain wants to tell me that the Lightning are going to win this series because, of course, they are. It's the Tampa Bay Lightning. But weirder things have happened in the Stanley Cup playoffs. If this was predictable, it would be no fun. It's the reason why the Stanley Cup playoffs are my favorite postseason in all of sports. It's so unpredictable. So we'll see.
Speaking of predictions, though, we couldn't finish this video without mentioning that you made this prediction at the very beginning of the season that the Toronto Maple Leafs would make it to the second round of the playoffs, beating the Tampa Bay Lightning. You said that in September?
Yeah, I said it before the start of the regular season, before the start of the preseason, I think.
Yeah.
I made a 5 Leafs hot takes video. One was that Matthews was going to score 60, so I'm right so far on one of them. And the other one I could be right on is I said the Leafs would win in the first round, and it would be against Tampa to like really drive it home as a hot take. And it's come to this now, so if it was prophetic, then that's great. Don't go back there and look at my other 3 takes. It's not good. I meant Michael Bunting, I swear. We'll see. Hopefully the Leafs win this. As a Leafs fan, I want it. But yeah, let us know if you made it this far in the video. Let us know what you think is going to happen in this series. I think this will be one of the closer ones. The Leafs offense is the Leafs offense, but everyone has to show up in the playoffs. They have to beat this team as a team. They really do. And you go from probably one of the easier matchups in playoff history last year against the Habs and lost, and to probably one of the harder ones you could have asked for to the Lightning. So maybe they'll win this because that's the Leafiest thing I can think of. Anyway,
I remember when the Tampa Bay kind of got embarrassed by Columbus. You remember?
Yeah.
And then they came back really, really, really strong, and they learned their lesson. Take it, the playoffs more seriously, and the Leafs have a chance here to go deep. So.
Yep, absolutely. I think any team out of the East has a potential to go deep, and I think the Leafs will win this series. You take Tampa Bay.
Mm-hmm.
Thanks so much for watching. Leave a like if you like this video and subscribe if you want to hang out and talk more hockey with us. We really appreciate it. We're on the road to 1,000 subscribers. Till next time, peace.